We're back with another exciting edition of the podcast, Sideline Podcast. And this is a good time, guys, because we have a special guest today.
Good for you, Mark. We got to sit and listen to this guy talk.
Well, I mean, I should say. It's for me, it's like having, my
son on.
Yes, my son is on. Grandpa's not here, though, and we miss Grandpa Bill.
We do. Yeah.
We're going to have to send Grandpa Bill in. By the way, we played golf with Grandpa Bill. He's down about 100 pounds.
No way.
It's
I didn't see him. Mark was telling me about it.
I walked down on it's like that doesn't even look like the same guy. We're gonna tell Bill to watch this clip because he'll have a nice time seeing happen again.
Yep.
Yes, but we're at a fantasy football league. We've talked about it a few times on this show. And this year, we've only been in business in our fantasy football league at the Fieldhouse for 2 years, and Evan has won both times. So we're a little bitter. I'm not as bitter as Scott because Scott lost to Evan.
Scott had the better team. Just a rough week.
You know, it's funny. All the losers always say that, right?
Yeah. Evan's got a good
right,
team.
Evan?
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Evan's got a good team.
He's got two quarterbacks.
Evan's very modest about his win as well. Don't you like? He's like a true gentleman of fantasy football.
It's getting old. It really is. It's getting old. It's an honor to be here, sitting in front of you guys. And it really took me to win fantasy 2 times in a row to get on the podcast. But I love taking your money, and it's been a fun ride. So
there you go.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
A win's a win. We can't say much.
That's about it. Because your other players aren't great. You can talk about AJ Brown coming in, and
you don't need the flashy quarterback, right? You don't need the runner. You don't need the Jalen Hurts, the Josh Allen, right? Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy. That's all you need. They get the job done. So, it's fun winning. It doesn't get old. I'll tell you that.
I think Purdy and CJ Stroud probably won a lot of fantasy championships this past weekend.
Stroud.
Yeah.
Oh, and Derrick Henry.
Oh, and Derrick Henry as well. Yeah.
He finally. It's funny how they finally decide they're just going to keep giving Derrick Henry the ball, and look how good they are.
Did you see that this week in the Ravens game, the total for his rushes is over and under 29.5 touch of attempts? It's a lot.
That's crazy.
32, and I don't think he touched it 32 times in 3 games.
I know. I mean, I love the under in that game. I mean, I know he has one outlier. I can't see him going back-to-back week with that many rushes, but
it's must win. I can see it.
What's Lamar's status do now?
It's questionable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If Lamar doesn't play, I take the over.
You really?
Because they're going to hand him the football. They're going to do the same thing and keep the ball out of the Steelers' hands. Not that the Steelers are great, but
I think even with Lamar, they give it to Derrick Henry. It's the winning formula. You can't. You can't stop him. He might only get 2 or 3 yards on 5 consecutive carries, but he's going to just keep pounding those. He's going to end up breaking one, and he did it multiple times last week.
So many rushing.
I hope they do because that's my pick for the Super Bowl. If they make, I need them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, you do.
That's right.
That was my pick when we talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, before we get to the NFL, let's start with the college.
Yeah, good week.
I mean, this is a big week for college.
Starts up tomorrow. Hopefully, this will all be out there for everybody to see. Young Grant will take care of us. But we got the big game tomorrow night. We got Miami and Ohio State. I know another thing we got to listen to this guy talk about. We bring him on board, fantasy football, and now he's got Ohio State defending champions. He's a fair weather fan.
You're a fan of Ohio State?
I mean,
just when they're winning.
Very,
that's okay.
Fair weather is a good statement. I'm not all on board, but I support them if I have to support a college team. 9.5 is a lot of points. I don't think Miami is that good. Ohio State's defense, Caleb Downs, I mean, they're unbelievable. Julian Sayin, completion percentage guy, right, the whole year. 9.5 is still a lot, though. But I probably lean Ohio State with the points in this, just because I don't see Miami keeping up in terms of being able to score the ball.
I agree. I think I love the points with 10. Now, it's a good line. It's a good line to go both ways, I think. The interesting thing is the total is only 40.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't expect Miami to
They're
score.
looking at a 24-14 game or something like that. So, I mean, I don't think they're expecting Ohio State to score a ton either, actually. Frankly, I thought the total would be higher than that just based on I thought they think probably Ohio State probably at least put up 30.
I know you said off camera you liked it was a good week for the dogs. So this is the first one. The most points. Do you like the dog here?
I like Miami here. And this is the one I like the least of the dogs, frankly. It's a tough one. I think it's a good line, but I'd love to see it go to 10, but I would definitely
I think this
Miami.
is the only one I wouldn't take the dog. I like the dogs in the other ones. Obviously, we'll get to them, but you usually pick wrong. So please tell everybody who not to pick.
I'm going to tell you who to put all your money on this week. You ready?
So
Ohio State. Remember I said last week Miami was going to lose, so I was wrong about that. But this week they are definitely going to lose. And I say that 9.5 is In fact, I say take the over, take Ohio State. I can see them outscoring Miami. I'd say 3 touchdowns.
To take
Okay.
the over as well.
That's a bold statement.
Take
Mark.
I said take
Maybe
the over.
21-0.
Over what? 40 and a half.
40, yep.
That's 40.5.
Take the
yeah.
over.
Mhm.
And take Ohio State.
Okay.
Okay, you guys 3 Ohio State, 1 Miami.
Keep in mind, Ohio State is coming off that loss to Indiana, right? Haven't
They
played
got a little
since
something to prove.
So a little
They've
bit.
had a little extra time to game.
I think
plan.
that's going to help
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
getting beaten by Indiana's a good segue into this game and really hammering poor old my. I just don't think Carson Beck's got it this year.
I don't think so either.
He's
Like I said last week, I thought he was an advantage in that Texas A&M game, just to playing in Georgia in that atmosphere. But God, did he look awful? He looked good enough to
Yeah.
win the game, which
Mhm.
is nice.
early on in the season. It looked like he was going to be really good, but then he just kind of tailed off.
He
So,
played in a tougher atmosphere last week than he's been playing this week.
Yeah.
And Texas A&M is a tough place to play neutral this year.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
he'll be able to probably communicate a little bit better and so on.
Yeah, it might help
It'll
him
be
out a
tough.
little bit, but he
Yeah.
hasn't looked good, like you said, especially the second half of the season. He hasn't looked
I think Evan's got it right. The
I hope it's
smart
a close
money
game.
is
Fine.
don't bet against Ohio State. I think that would be a fool's bet.
Okay.
Take Ohio State.
So we'll move on to the first New Year's Day game. And it's the one where the higher seed is actually the dog. It's the only one that it happens in. We got Oregon playing Texas Tech. We all know where Mark stands because he's got Oregon winning the national
whole thing, baby.
championship.
Go Ducks.
I think his whole bracket's eliminated when Oregon loses to
Yeah.
Texas Tech. But Scotty, let's start with you before we go to our special guest.
Well, I like Texas Tech to win the whole thing as well. So I'm
Yeah.
opposite him. I think Texas Tech's defense is legit. I think they probably like the role of being kind of like not thought about, kind of forgotten about above I would say the 3 big teams of Ohio State, Indiana, and Georgia. I feel like Texas Tech is like a second thought.
Mhm.
I think they're going to take advantage of that. I think they're going to win this game easy.
Evan.
Yeah,
Mr. I know ball.
I side with Scotty here. That defense is legit. I think just as good, if not better, than Ohio State on the defensive side of the ball. Jacob Rodriguez, I think he got snubbed in terms of Heisman voting. He should have been in that top 3, I think. He's legit linebacker for them, and then Baron Morton, their quarterback. He's feasible enough to do it on the offensive side. So I think that defense carries them in this one and probably in the next one, whoever that may be as well.
Yeah, I'm with Scott. I picked Texas Tech to win it all. A lot because of the defense. I know Oregon put up big numbers and they gave up some gaudy numbers. We talked about it, what led to that, whether it was not their best guys playing on the field, but they're playing a whole different team. It's a whole different step up. And yes, they've got a week to prepare for it, but Texas Tech has been rested, ready to go. I don't think this one's close. I take Texas Tech on the money line. I'm not worried about points or anything like that. I take them on the money line, get a little extra boost there, and go for that.
I'm going with your coach, Dan Lanning, the coach of the year. You said he was the Hall of Fame
I like
coach.
him.
He's the guy. They've been in this type of a game before. It's gonna be good.
They just don't win them.
It's different. It's different now, late in the season. Obviously, keep in mind, Oregon struggled with Penn State early in the year. Remember that game?
Mhm.
Yes.
Remember overtime? I think it went to overtime. Oregon
And it's
squeaked
low
that out.
scoring.
And think about how bad that Penn State team is, right? How it turned out for them. So I know it's different now, but Oregon obviously got beat by Indiana early in the year as well. So I don't think they're that good. But
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, there's for our podcast on TikTok and Instagram, there's a lot of comments from Oregon fans about how we don't stay up late enough to watch them, so we don't know enough about them. And you may be right. We'll see what happens.
Well, we all know that's past Mark's bedtime.
Yeah,
It's not far from ours.
Yeah,
Scott,
a lot
but-
of comments saying, they don't get anything. You don't see.
I
them
guess
on
those
those
people
guys.
don't realize that we can watch the replays and we can watch, because we can and we do.
We check the highlights out. We can
Okay,
get a gist of it. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
getting
with
to
you,
the
Mark.
point, Scotty. We eat lunch at about 4:30, and then we go to bed at about 8.
There you
So,
go.
and that's it. And then
That's
I
it.
catch the games tomorrow. I put them on in the office.
Well, that's a good thing. It's before your bedtime. The next game on our slate is the Alabama game. I know you're excited, Mark.
Can't wait.
Alabama,
Can't wait.
Indiana. It's at 4:00, so you don't have to worry about taking that late nap or going to bed. So let's start with you, Mark.
If Alabama wins this game, I take back everything I say about the Ducks because then Alabama will win the whole thing. This is their game. I feel like that last week, they were fortunate to get the victory. This week, if they come back out and Ty Simpson looks like we know he can, I would be afraid to play them if I'm any of these other teams in the next round.
You said fortunate to win the game. The quarterfinal,
Oklahoma.
you thought they were fortunate. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
they were down 17
They went
nothing.
down early.
and that's why I think they're fortunate. I mean, yeah, they came back and had a great second half, but the first half was suspect, and that's kind of what the tale of Alabama's been. They
Don't
will
think
have
that's a little jitters playing at the Oklahoma had the home field
national
advantage.
champion. I don't want to see jitters. I want to see them dominate, and I think you don't see jitters out of Ohio State. And so I think that's why I say if Alabama crushes and they come out playing like Ty Simpson can, and their running game, I want to see Ryan Williams more involved. I want to see Jeremy
He's
more
been a dud
involved.
this year.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, what's going on? And he drops it.
He's dropping a ton
Yeah.
of balls. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to see them all put it together, and then I'll believe in them, and then I'll be able to say, yeah, they're going.
I'm surprised this line is at 7. Indiana's good on the defensive side, as we know, and then obviously the Heisman winner, and I think Sorrell is that receiver's name. They have a good core of receivers. 7's a lot, especially with Alabama. We know their history, right? I think this should be more at 3.5, but I probably will lay the points with Alabama in this, although I do think Indiana wins the game.
Go ahead, Scotty.
I agree with both you guys a lot. I mean, I think for Alabama to win, they need to keep the momentum that they had in the second half against Oklahoma. And they need to win the turnover battle to do this game. And I think they have the talent to do that. I think 7's a little much. I can see it going the way Evan just said, where it's a close game. Alabama covers and Indiana wins, but I'm gonna take Alabama the points in this one.
I'm going to go the same way. Obviously, it's hard for me to root against Alabama, but I think Indiana didn't get what Ohio State got. Ohio State got the beat down, and it's not a beat down. They lost 13-10, but Indiana punched them in the mouth, and I think Indiana's going to go in with a little bit be on a high horse. They've never played a game as number one. They've only played one other CFP game. So this is new territory still for them, and Alabama's been there. DeBoer's been there with Washington. He's been there with Alabama now. So I just think the experience. I think Alabama wins outright. I'm going to take the points, but I think Alabama wins outright because Indiana didn't get that true punch in the mouth that they needed. Sometimes it's better not to go into that stuff undefeated. Got a little more.
One thing, and it's funny because we just talked about that Penn State game for Oregon. The Penn State game for Indiana was kind of eye-opening for me, too. It really solidified Mendoza to me because Penn State had that game won against Indiana. And, man, Mendoza, when he needed to do it, he did it in that game, man. He was throwing darts. That catch, I forget the guy who called it in the back of the end zone for Indiana, but made a great catch. But
that guy, yeah, and we talked about that. That was probably the best catch of the year. I mean, that was
But so I mean, the Penn State is touched a lot of these teams, but Penn State isn't that good when you go back and look at it. And so it was a spark for them, but wasn't really. Yeah, so it's interesting. So.
All right, that moves us into the last game, and I know it's your favorite, so I'm going to give you the floor first on this one because you might talk us through most of this game. So last game on New Year's Day, Ole Miss against Georgia. Georgia favored by 6.5. What are your thoughts, Mr. Bulldog?
I love the way Georgia's playing right now. They're playing great. Their defense has really stepped up at the end of this year. Ole Miss is playing good. In Georgia, I mean, they blew out Alabama. But besides that, they haven't really been blowing teams out this year. So a 6.5, 7 number is actually a bigger number than it would be for some other teams, if you know what I'm saying. Because Georgia just doesn't blow people out. It just there's not, except for last game. And God, I hope they're wrong. I hope Georgia wins by 50. But I think I'm going to call it a little bit like that Indiana game. I think Georgia wins, but by field goal. If I was a betting guy, and I might be, I would probably take the points in Ole Miss in this one.
I'm right there with you, Scotty. That's what I would have said. The 6.5 giving to Ole Miss, it's too much. I'm even though I think Georgia wins, but I would take Ole Miss in the points.
Georgia's boring to watch to me. I feel like
it is very tough to watch. I'm with
Hunter Stockton. I mean, boring, right? And I just can't get behind him for whatever reason. He's good. He's solid, consistent, right? He wins games. I just can't get behind him. I love the Trinidad kid on the Ole Miss side. I think he's a gamer. A little bit of a chip on his shoulder coming from, his path of how he got to Ole Miss. I think he was at Ferris State before. So he's trying to prove himself as well on the biggest stage. I'd tease that up to 7.5 probably to take the touchdown cover on the Ole Miss side. I could see them winning the game as well. If I had to choose on a money line, I'd probably just go Georgia to be safe. But I can see Ole Miss maybe upsetting as well. So that's a tough one, but I would tease it up to 7.5 to be safe.
Yeah, I'm with you. If I'm going to take points, I'm probably going up 7.5. It's just that 6.5 is a scary number. It can go too many ways. But I'm with you. I think Chambliss is trying to prove something. He won that national title, Division II or whatever it is, and he's got the opportunity. And I think Ole Miss in general wants to prove they can win without Lane Kiffin. I know they played Tulane. Scores were pretty comparative. I think a 4-point difference from when they played him in the regular season with Kiffin and in the playoff. But those guys just looked different. They were playing fast. They were hitting hard. And I think they're looking the opportunity to play a big school with history of winning national championships and prove they belong. And I think they got a gritty coach that's stepping into a spot that is a little different than Lane Kiffin. So I'm probably like you. I'll bump it to 7.5 to take Ole Miss. But I think this is probably one of the best games that happens this weekend. And it's high scoring, good competitive SEC football. So
yeah, Georgia's defense isn't the defense of years past, right? I think it can get to a shootout in this one.
Well, it did in the first game when they played each other. It was back and forth like crazy.
Exactly.
At the end, Georgia ended up shutting them down.
Yeah.
And I think Georgia scored on every possession in the second half. But I can't remember the exact way it was. But yeah, like I said, I think Ole Miss is going to hang around there and it's going to be close. But I'll tell you this. If Georgia comes out and smokes Ole Miss, you know they've figured something out, and Ohio State better watch out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now, because if Georgia comes out and wins this one, say 37-20 or something like that, I'll tell you what, Ohio State better be damn nervous. Because then they figured something out after this Alabama beat down and then coming out and taking Ole Miss down. That'd be a good 1-2 punch, I'd say.
Absolutely.
So,
Kirby Smart is just so good too.
yeah.
Yeah, you talked about Dan Lanning. It's hard to compete with Kirby Smart as
Well,
the
Dan
best.
Lanning, was with Kirby.
Yeah,
for a long
but
time,
it's hard to say
Yeah.
that anybody's better than Kirby Smart right now.
Yeah.
He finds ways to win, and the dude can recruit, which is crazy too because they don't really blow up the portal. I mean, they get the portal, but they're trying to develop quarterbacks. They're not going like your LSU's and Ole Misses and schools like that. Alabama and Georgia are kind of going to find their quarterback and then developing them along the way, which is nice to see in this.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I mean, they still have it pretty good because they're pulling in how many 5 stars every year.
But,
So it's still,
but that's because of a program you built.
Alabama, Georgia, those
You
guys
built
are
it,
in the big dogs,
right?
Yeah, Ohio State. So yeah, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. I can't wait.
Absolutely
So,
good 4 playoff games.
Yeah.
It's an exciting week of football though, because
For sure.
I mean, maybe not too exciting on the NFL side. Week 18, we do have a couple games that are important, and then we could kind of talk playoff picture, maybe MVP. I know Mark's got his pick for MVP this year. Got a little stat for him in some mutual games, and
All
he did
right.
a little better.
Shador Sanders.
Yeah. But the 2 games that really matter for the NFL are on Saturday. So if you got plans, you want to do something, do it on Sunday. You're not going to miss a whole lot of football on Sunday.
Yep.
The 2 playoff games that matter deciding Bucks Panthers decide the spot for the playoffs. Niners Seahawks are first place in the conference. Steelers Ravens is the other one, but we've talked about
That's
both
Sunday,
teams.
right?
Yeah, that's the only Sunday game.
Sunday,
We've
yeah.
talked about both those teams quite a bit. So we'll start with Panthers Bucks. Panthers got a little help last night with the Falcons beating the Rams. So the Panthers can get in even if they lose this game if the Falcons beat the Saints.
Yeah.
So they got a little extra help there. Takes a little pressure off them if the Falcons go out and win. Mark, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on this Panthers Bucks game? It's
Boring.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tired of hoping that one of these teams starts to play some football, and I wish they would just both go away already and let's get to the serious teams.
Yeah.
It's kind of my feeling. Baker Mayfield, what happened to him at the beginning of the year again? I thought this is the guy this team is going to just roll with Baker, especially they put on their old uniforms. They look good. Now, I mean, even when he gets Mike Evans back, it's like still boring.
and Godwin.
And
he got
Godwin, yeah,
everybody.
and he's got and
Buck
Buck, they've got all of their, and it still doesn't happen. And then Carolina is just not there yet. You can tell. I like Bryce Young, and I like what's going on and how their trajectory is. But I see that. I just want that division to just kind of go away.
I agree.
So.
Yeah, ugly division, ugly game. Like you said, Bucks faced the injury bug, right? But now they're getting their guys back, and they're still hard and painful to watch. Hard to trust either team in this situation. I think I'm going to take the Panthers money line. I think they're playing a little bit harder right now. They got beat down a little bit by Seattle. Everybody kind of does against that defense. But I think they are playing harder right now. Bucks are just in shambles. So I would take the Panthers money line for this one.
Go ahead, Scotty.
I'm with you guys. I mean, I've been waiting for the swagger to come back from Baker Mayfield, and I thought he would, but I'm starting to just lose my luster in those guys. I can tell you, I don't even want to talk about it that much, but I'm going to say it one more time. I think the Baker Mayfield's going to step up when it's needed. I think they're going to win, and I'm probably wrong. So
You haven't got it right. I mean, this goes back to
like 4 weeks in a row.
This goes back to when he's the favorite for the MVP after that stretch to start.
I know. So.
I'm going to go with Evan. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but I'm going to go. I think I'm taking Panthers money line. I like what they're doing. They got a good young core. Everybody jumped to conclusions on Cavalis, and he's proven he can coach a little bit. I mean, it's not a great division. Obviously, there's still room for improvement, but they've looked pretty good, and they've looked like the better team. So to leave it at that, Panthers money line. And
What's crazy is either of those teams are going to host a playoff game, right? And
I think this is the last year of it. Didn't they talk about it next year?
I think so.
Just doing straight 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you make the division. If you win your division, you make it, but it's based on record, which should be a little better. Because, I mean, we got Seahawks, Niners, and Rams all 11-4. Well, the Rams are 11-5.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, those teams shouldn't be playing on the road. But let's take it into the Seahawks-Niners. Who is going to be the number 1 seed? Who hosts? There's a lot of potential there because the Niners. Who gets to buy, and then who gets? 49ers could host all the way to the Super Bowl, which is crazy thing to think.
Yeah, they have it.
So, Scotty, let's start on this side. Your thoughts, because this is actually going to be a fun game.
This is a fun game to watch, man. San Francisco's playing really well. Evan would know this. This fantasy quarterback, Brock Purdy, he's been on fire lately. I don't know. I didn't think in a game like this. I think Seattle's defense are strong. I don't know why I'm saying this, but the 49ers is kind of like my fantasy team. They've been playing really good, and I feel like they're going to have a letdown. I'm sure they'd rather have a letdown this week than in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like Seattle's going to come in, take care of business here, and beat the 49ers.
No chance. Sorry, Scotty.
That's all right, Mark.
I remember last week, it seems like a couple of you guys said the 49ers were going to lose last week.
Just this guy.
Just this guy?
Just
okay,
this
we
guy.
haven't talked about that yet.
Because he said the Bears.
He was almost right.
Yeah.
The Bears almost did it, but 49ers can take care of business again. Brock Purdy is too good, and Sam Darnold's not. So it's going to rest on those two guys. I think Sam Darnold's going to make the mistakes that he typically makes when you need him to make mistakes if you're a 49ers fan. So 49ers, I mean, 1.5. Yeah, take the 49ers. They win outright.
Yeah, I agree with Mark here. No brainer for me at home. Big game. Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy. I'm taking Purdy every time. We saw what Sam Darnold did last year in Minnesota in the big stage. Hoping for his sake and the Seahawks' sake, it's a cool story. Hoping it doesn't happen again in the playoffs for them. But I see the Niners winning this game. At home, offense is rolling. Seahawks defense is very good, though. So we will see how that great offense and great defense match up. It's going to be tough, but I take Niners money line.
Yeah. Seahawks defense is legit, but we said it last week. The 49ers weapons, they're back. Jeez, Mark. The ghost to the golf. The golf gods want you to go play. But the 49ers have their weapons. They seem like they're starting to be healthy and full-fledged. They'll start to get some guys on the defensive end back come playoff time. But, yeah, Brock Purdy over Sam Darnold. And then CMC looks like an MVP-type player again. And Kittle, you've got Kittle and Juwan Jennings. So I'm going 49ers money line.
Think about what we just said. Brock Purdy, the last pick of the draft. Sam Darnold, number 1 in the draft, right? It's crazy how careers shape out like that.
And to go along with that, I mean, everybody gave up on him. Right. And, he goes to Minnesota and does well. I mean,
they give up on him, and then now look.
He goes to Seattle and he gets paid. So, I mean, it's more about fit. We talked about Carolina. They were ready to give up on Bryce Young. They benched him last year. And he's proven he kind of belongs there.
That's true.
So you just got to – these guys jump to get a player, and they don't necessarily build around him.
Right.
So
I'm sorry. One other note on this game. Another reason I like Seattle in this game because I feel like Vegas really wants you to take San Fran.
I know.
That plus 1.5, and I love to go
Why are they not
opposite what they
favored? I
want.
don't-
And it's
yeah, I'm not sure why they aren't favored at home.
It should be 3.5.
That's fishy.
I feel like it should be 3.5.
Mhm.
It's 1.5 for a reason, and I just when it's in line like that, it kind of makes me want to go the illogical
I agree.
way.
I agree.
Don't fall for it, Scotty.
Okay.
It's
All
a
right.
ruse. That's what Vegas is playing games with you.
Yeah.
You should do what your mind tells you. Take the 49ers.
Vegas theory. All right.
Just go at opposite Mark's pick.
Yeah.
So we'll be sitting here next week, and the 49ers got smoked by the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And I won't talk about it.
Well, a lot of us be hanging our heads.
Well, next week we're going to be moved on because it'd be fun to talk about the playoffs.
Yep,
You
for
get by
sure.
this week, and the NFL players are coming on. That's exciting.
It does get a little fun. I know we've talked a little bit about it. Are you still on the same bandwagon for the Super Bowl? I know my pick's got to get in, but I think I have another pick that I kind of like. It could be deadly. I saw some
I mean,
stats about
my run-of-the-mill pick is the Rams. I know they haven't played that great the last couple of weeks, but I still think they got it. Devontae Adams, is he going to come back?
I think so.
I
He
think
should
He's
be.
been close. He's been close.
Yeah, so I think if he gets back, that gives him a touchdown weapon. I mean, it's so many touchdowns this year until he got hurt. And it's just only going to help Puka out even more.
Right.
You know, when he comes back, I just feel like they've got the tools to do it. Their defense is solid. I feel like they're going to. My chick pick those. I like the Bears.
What do you think, Evan?
I can't pick the Bears. Caleb Williams, I do not like that guy. Hometown kid, but I just can't get behind him with Jaden, obviously, as my guy. We talk about MVP. It's going to pain me to see Drake May win this thing. I think
Hey,
that's probably
Right there, man.
It's probably where
Thank
it's
you.
going, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, Super Bowl favorite. I was on the Rams 2 weeks ago, right? Heavy. Now it's like, what is going on here? You know, Seahawks, good team, lost to them last night. Atlanta's not a good team. And Atlanta kind of exposed that defense a little bit last night. So I think I still lean Rams. AFC's weak this year. If it's anybody's year in the AFC, it's the Bills' time, right? They haven't been able to get past Mahomes. It's been the Mahomes dynasty.
Saw a stat on it.
It's time.
Josh Allen's had 4 games this year where he hasn't had a passing touchdown.
It's crazy.
But then he's had those
But he's had
Superman
Superman
games.
games,
He's
yep.
had Superman games.
Exactly.
He just can't have one of those games
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
But I think if they get hot, you know, they're,
Yeah.
they're a tough team to beat.
You know, we haven't even talked about that, and I don't know if this is the right time, but with the Bills, what kind of a decision was that? Scotty, please help me here understand how you make a decision to go for it,
I didn't like
to
it.
win the game. If he had, and it was all because the pass was bad. Had he
Right.
made the right pass, we would all be saying, "Oh, it was brilliant." But the fact is, they could have tied. The weather, the defense was holding up. They weren't scoring. You might even get the ball back to get down, score, put some pressure on him. You had momentum. I thought that was the weirdest call.
I think the decision behind that was, look, we for 3 quarters they did nothing, right? And then they finally strung together a couple drives. But even on those drives, it was kind of like it wasn't great drives. They were kind of getting down there, inching down there slowly. I think they just wanted to end it there because they had the chance. Didn't want to put it back in the Eagles' hands, although they did shut out the Eagles that whole second half.
Yeah, they scored 13 early and then nothing else.
Jalen Hurts just,
It's also
I mean,
the third game, I think, third or fourth game that they haven't had a completed pass in the
in
second,
the second half, right?
Wow.
Think
And
about
I
that.
heard that. Damn.
And the Eagles
Yeah.
fans love to say that guy's not carried, and you know his defense has done great things for him. He's got all the weapons in the world around him.
Yeah,
I
they
think
have
that just
The Bills are a weird team, man.
yeah.
But
I
they
wouldn't
can
mind-
beat-
I
they
wouldn't
can beat
mind seeing
anyone.
the Bills.
Yeah.
I would like. I think it'd be fun. I like Josh Allen. I'm
I
not
like
a
him
huge
too.
Bills fan, but our Commanders aren't in there this year. You know, so the Bills would be somebody I'd like to see win it. I
Right.
mean, that would,
I agree.
I know a couple weeks ago I said the Ravens, and I hope they make it because I do think they have the ability to make a run. The other pick, doing some research, watching some highlights. Watch out for the Texans.
Defense is good.
The Texans are 8-0 in their last 8 games. They beat 3 playoff teams in it. They lost on a last-minute field goal to the Broncos before that 8-game win streak, and then they beat another playoff team, the Niners, before
Yeah.
that. So they've played. They've been tested. They're healthy.
I like that pick.
That's like you said. AFC's not great. I don't think the Bills are very good. Outside of Josh Allen, James Cook had some games, but
he's the leading rusher in the NFL,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
so
Stuff.
I mean, but you can focus on James Cook, especially Houston,
They
and
don't have
defense
good
like that.
receivers.
There's
Yeah.
no receivers. in
Receivers is their
Buffalo.
problem.
So
man.
They have
you're
issues.
relying on James Cook and Josh Allen to use their legs to beat you. I just think teams like Baltimore with some defense, Houston with some defense, those teams can pin their ears back and get after it. And there's no powers in the AFC. So
Yeah, we'll see. One, I think, little hidden thing that doesn't get talked about much is Dalton Kincaid got hurt in the middle of the season this year,
He's a big
and he
miss.
came back. He's not the same. He's not as much a part of the offense. Man, he was having some games. He had 2 touchdown games early in the season and a lot of yards. And I mean, I've not watched every play of the Bills, but I have not seen much on Dalton Kincaid. And I guess he's been back for 4 or 5 weeks now.
Yeah, he was out last game, but he
Was
did
he?
have a stretch where he was back.
Back, yeah,
Yep.
and he was out last game, but
Yep.
he's a valuable weapon when you don't have the core receivers.
Mhm.
They need Josh Allen needs him.
He
I
does.
think, to play and play well.
Mm.
So we'll see what happens. It'll be fun to watch.
So you brought up your pick for MVP. Are you still on Stafford?
No. I mean, I think that hurt him last night. So but I'm not on Drake May, even though I'm kind of like
know.
you. I think Drake May. Here's the sad fact: Drake May win the MVP just because stat wise, I mean, it's a pretty easy, it's
Turn the
low hanging
team
fruit,
around
right?
pretty
The
good.
team's done.
They're going to lose in the
Yeah.
first round of the playoffs.
Oh,
Yep. The Patriots. So if he wins, okay, great, you won. But that team is not ready to carry, I don't think, forward. So, but I'll tell you who I'm kind of big on, and I know this is going to sound a little weird. If Myles Garrett gets the sack, I can kind of see, or the one more than he needs, whatever it
It'd be
is.
crazy if he goes the last 3 games without a sack. And doesn't
I
make
know.
the
Right.
record.
So I can kind of see him
hope he does.
being MVP talk because that's one of those stats that has been, that's hard to beat, right? In the
Right.
NFL.
Yeah, like you, I'm kind of. I mean, I think Drake May is going to win it. I would like Stafford to win it, but last night hurt him. A couple other guys that they're not really talking about. Christian McCaffrey is
1,000.
2,000 yards, all purpose, right? Not talking about him at all. James Cook had a great year. Obviously, Derrick Henry, he's now up to 1,500 yards. I think he's got 16 touchdowns, something like that. So there's other guys in the mix, but it's a quarterback award, right? So I think Myles Garrett, he gets a sack. He's still not going to be in that discussion, unfortunately, even though I'd love to see him win it because it's not a runaway favorite this year.
Well, look at the Browns. They're competing because of their
yeah,
defense.
absolutely.
Well,
And
that-
when Miles,
that-
I mean, look at what Pittsburgh had to do everything they could to not let him. And
Aaron
then they
Rodgers
gave
not
up.
letting that happen.
Yeah,
He did not
that's
let-
that's what we talked about. He was just going to throw the ball away.
Right.
There was no sack happening.
Yeah.
right.
No, to go along with it, we know it's kind of been down to Stafford and May. There was an interesting stat I saw this morning that there's 6 common opponents between those 2 quarterbacks. They've played 6 of the same teams. Stafford's 4-2, Drake May 6-0, with more passing yards, more rushing yards, more total touchdowns. So
good
if you
stat.
go common opponents,
Yeah.
and the 2 guys that are, I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I think they can win the first game, Mark. I don't think they're that bad. Their defense doesn't get enough credit. I think they're still a year away and they've got some money to spend. But to see the turnaround that happened,
Oh yeah.
they were
Yeah.
4-13 last year, 5-12, something like that. I don't know it off the top of my head, but they were awful. And I mean, Vrabel's got to be in the conversation for Coach of the Year, or Cohen. Yeah, I mean, you got some guys or Ben Johnson. You've got guys that turn around programs in first year, which is not likely to happen. So I think there's just too many things going in Drake May's favor in the sense that he rebounded a team after a rookie year. They're going to make the playoffs. They're competing for the 1 seed, those type things.
Yeah, I think you can see one of the most cringy, by the way, you brought up Cohen, which I do think he could be Coach of the Year. One of the most cringy commercials I saw last week is when Trevor Lawrence it's like the little love song between Trevor and Travis Hunter. And they're dancing around and they're dancing through the roses. And it was cringy. It was hard to watch. I don't know, but that's just side note.
Yeah.
Scotty Lays.
I mean, after you got to hit all the highlights, I'd be shocked if Drake May doesn't win the MVP.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
Right.
Yeah, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, hand up. I was first one to say Patriots would have 4 wins this year.
Yep.
So I was
Yeah,
dead wrong about that.
Thank you.
I also said the Colts would suck. Thank God they came back down to earth. So I was wrong about those 2. But it's cool to see.
And your Commanders. You were
Right.
wrong about your Commanders.
I
They
was
dealt
wrong
with
about
some
them.
injuries.
Well,
I
still.
look, I honestly, now that you brought the Colts, I would have said if Daniel Jones stayed healthy and they continued to play like that, he was in the conversation for MVP.
Yeah.
And what a turnaround that would have been
Right.
to have Daniel Jones involved in that discussion.
Well, James, I mean, at the beginning of the year, I mean, there's a lot of people that fell off.
Yeah.
Jonathan
Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, yeah. They
Jonathan.
traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner.
No.
No,
I saw
not
a
gonna
crazy
play.
stat.
He hasn't been playing.
I think it was 200 yards receiving.
Allowed?
He's allowed.
Only. Yeah.
Sauce Gardner.
Wow.
He doesn't get targeted much.
Think
yeah.
about that. They don't. It's like Revis back in the day.
Yeah.
They don't throw the football to his side of the field.
That's crazy.
Well, and how was he now? He came back last week. I think he was healthy last week, right? He
Sauce
played.
Gardner?
Was
Yeah.
it?
I think
Okay.
so. And I don't know. I think
Maybe he
so.
was.
I think he played.
Yeah, he might have. Well, all right, cool.
Any closing remarks from you, our special guest?
Just honored to be a part of it, man.
Well,
Thanks for
he's going to sit
joining.
here through maybe through a little trivia.
Yeah.
Scotty
Yeah,
hammers
let's
up
do
the
it.
trivia.
Let's do it.
All right. Did Scotty make that up? What you got for us?
All right, it needs to be a little harder because we have Evan here, so I need to like up the ante a little bit. So we're gonna do a college football question. Who was the first college football player to rush for 6,000 yards? And then I'm gonna have an appendix on this one. Is in the last several years, there's another player who actually did it in 3 years, 6,000 yards. And you know both of these players very well.
I want to say Barry Sanders, the first one to do it at Oklahoma State.
That is not correct.
Come on, Evan. We can do better than that.
Say Bo Jackson.
That is not correct.
I would say Earl Campbell.
That is not correct. You guys are kind of in the same like big. I'm gonna give you. It was done in the mid 70s.
I'm not good with the older crowds.
Evan,
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
why?
I'm gonna give you another clue, just because it's almost New Year's. This is gonna give it away. He played for Pittsburgh. Taking too long is Mr. Tony Dorsett.
Tony Dorsett. Legend.
Yes.
Tony Dorsett didn't play for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He did. When did he play for Pittsburgh?
In college?
Oh,
It's a college
Never
trivia
mind.
question, Mark.
Uh,
Yeah. All right. All right. To the other one
So
here,
the,
real
the
quick.
more recent one.
The more recent one.
I have a guess.
Yes.
Leonard Fournette.
No.
I thought because he was there a while.
I was going to say it's one of your Georgia boys, Todd
Not-
Gurley.
No,
I would
no.
have said Ashton Genty.
It's Jonathan Taylor.
Wow, was it
Wisconsin.
really?
I was gonna say that
Yeah.
too.
I thought Jonathan Taylor was the first one. I was going to go there.
Yeah.
Wisconsin. He was running over.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
definitely. That was
He
a
did it
hard
in
one.
3 years.
Thanks for checking us out on this special New Year's edition of the Sideline Podcast. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at CY Sideline Podcast. Happy holidays.